Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another day of A Year in Miracles. Today we are on A Course in Miracles, workbook lesson number 208. Again, a review. And the theme of our review is the same as it has been for the last few days. I am not a body. I am free, for I am still as God created me. Today's review is of workbook lesson 188. Which is the peace of God is shining in me now. I will be still and let the earth be still along with me. And in that stillness, we will find the peace of God. It is within my heart, which witnesses to God Himself. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. So today's lesson is all about stillness, right? About quieting our mind, being still, and letting the earth be still alongside of us, right? And in that stillness, we connect to that peace of God, to that one mind of God that we share with all of our brothers and with every creation, everything that we see here, or that we feel, or that we know to be the truth of what we are. Because where is it? It's in your heart. It's in my heart, which witnesses to love itself, which witnesses to God itself. So over the years, I've learned different ways of finding that stillness, right? Because the ego mind is constantly barking orders. We've talked about that before. We've talked about how it's kind of like a border collie, right? It's running around, and it's really great when you give it something to do that's constructive, right? Because it'll do anything you tell it to do. But if you don't give it something to do, it's going to tear up the living room, right? So it'll tear up your life and create chaos in your life if you don't give it something constructive to do. So let's give it something today. Let's give it the direction to find that stillness. Let's give it that job, because it's really good when you give it a job. So over the years, I've learned different ways of finding that stillness, either through meditation or walking in nature. I find it through listening to calm meditation music, right? I listen to different types of binaural beats, and there's a company called Centerpoint, which for a long time I had a hard time finding that stillness because my life was just so full of anxiety and chaos that no matter what I tried, I couldn't do it. So I ended up putting these noise deafening earphones on and listening to a half an hour of what's called a deep dive and immersion of these tones that were meant to take your brain waves from this to this. And you know what? It worked. It was amazing. I remember after 30 minutes, I would come out of the state and feel like my brain had been washed, and I was energized. Because when you're in that state of anxiety, even though you're thinking, you're exhausted, right? It's like being in that exhausted state of depression where your mind won't stop. So it's working overtime and you're just exhausted. But I found that doing that really helped me to get on my feet again and choose again. Because again, we have to give our mind something constructive to think about. Otherwise, it's going to tear up our life, which it does sometimes. Some other things that I've learned to try to get to that stillness is aromatherapy. I have a special selection of aromatherapy essential oils that I use depending on what I'm looking for, if I want relaxation or if I want to be energized, and they work so well. If any of you are into aromatherapy or essential oils, you know what I'm talking about. But if you're not, try that, discover what works for you to find that place of stillness. Actually, I love my crystal singing bowls too. You can probably see them in the background. I've got them here. I've got all of the bowls to open the chakras. And if you've never done a crystal bowl healing, or if you've never heard what they sound like, you just kind of tap the outside like that, and then you just start like that. And after a few minutes, your mind just kind of goes into that place of inner stillness, right? So, a lot of tools you can use, a lot of things to find that inner peace. So, today, explore that. Try to find how to be still. How does that work for you? And see if you can experience that peace of God, that peace of love that is within your heart. And you can know that you're not a body. You are free, right? So great to have all of you here on the live feed this morning. Thank you for joining on this wonderful Saturday morning. Nice to see so many of you here this morning. Good morning, Kimberly. Hi, Terry. Good morning, honey. Good morning, Pam. Hi, Colette. Nice to see you here this morning. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Vera. Good to see you here this morning. Hi, Cheryl. Hey, good morning, Alicia. That's right. Good morning, Kindred Spirits. I know it's so nice to share all this information with all of you this morning. Good morning, Carl. Hey, Kelly. Nice to see you here this morning. You're welcome, Terry. Great to have you here this morning. Thank you for joining. The inner stillness is the best place to be. I know, isn't it, Vera? I mean, there's so much more to explore. Some people might think, oh my gosh, that sounds so boring. I remember when my daughter first dragged me to my first yoga class, I thought, ugh, yoga sounds so boring. I can't stand it. And, it took me a while to understand the benefits of a yoga practice. But, after a couple of weeks, I started seeing remarkable improvements, not only in my physical body, but in my emotional well-being. And, that's the same thing that happens with finding that inner stillness in meditation. People think, oh my gosh, I don't have time for that. So boring. But you can't imagine how it influences your life and how much power it gives you. It's amazing. It is the opposite of what you think it would be in this world of opposites that we live in. Good morning, David. Nice to see you here this morning. doTERRA products. Oh, and you have singing bowls too. That's awesome. Oh, thank you so much. Nice to have you here this morning on the live feed. And hey, Kimberly, good to see you. I see you just jumped in on the live feed too. So this morning is, be still. Find that stillness within you and explore your options. There's so many fun options and fun ways of finding that stillness because, happiness is your only function, right? So make it fun. Make it happy and do a little bit of inner exploration today. And again, thank you for joining this morning, and I will be back tomorrow with our next A Course in Miracles workbook lesson. Until then, have a great day, and as always, feel free to share what's coming up for you, and maybe share some of the ways you find that stillness, you find ways of going inside, because I'm sure some of the people who are here on the live feed or who follow this would like to know that. They'd like to have some tips on how to find that inner stillness. So I'd love for you to share the ways that you find that inner stillness. Until then, I will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Thank you, guys. Bye.